What's going on, everyone? Today we've got a banger of a video here for you. Today we're going to be going over the best 11 wingers that you can bring in to your clubs within your final FM24 saves. The prices range from under 10 million to kind of hanging with the big boys and paying that 100 million pound price tag. So we have some pretty elite wingers on today's list. But I guess with all that being said and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Alright, so we're going to be starting with the cheapest winger first. It is a kid from the Czech Republic known as Adam Hloček, which you can find him at Bayer Leverkusen. I got the privilege of watching him play here in St. Louis, and he is absolutely fantastic. In reality, I hope that he starts to get some more playing time. But within FM, this kid has always been a wonderkid. He's always been a very reliable option because he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play as a number 10, or even as a striker if you need him to. And when you look at his attributes, he's just super solid all around when it comes to attacking ability, and he is great with both feet as well. So definitely keep him in mind for 8.4 to 12.5 million pounds. He is a pretty solid option, especially at the age of 20. Now our next winger on the list is actually a World Cup winner. He is 22 years of age. You can find him at Atlanta United in MLS. It is Mr. Thiago Almada. He can play on the left wing, the right wing, or as a number 10. I prefer him on the left or as a number 10. He is absolutely fantastic. I mean, looking at his ability, he is absolutely ridiculous. He is so good. For 11 to 16 million pounds, you can pick him up for. And this is a player that 100% should be played in Europe. So if you are doing a save within Europe and you have the money to be able to bring him in off the rip, definitely bring him in because he is almost club changing. He can definitely be a player that you build around because, as you can see, he has the ability to do so, especially as a playmaker. Now our next winger, I believe, is actually the youngest one on today's list, but he actually isn't the cheapest one on today's list. Ruben van Bommel from AZ Alkmaar, the young 18-year-old Dutchman, is absolutely fantastic. He is quite the wonder kid, and for 11.5 to 17 million pounds, you can bring him in. He can play left wing, right wing, through the middle of the park, even up top if you need him to. He is pretty versatile. At 18 years of age, when you're looking at his attributes, this dude is an absolute machine. So definitely consider bringing him in, especially this is once again like a Thiago Almada signing. If you're looking for someone to kind of build your team around, Ruben van Bommel is definitely a player that you can build your side around, especially when it comes to your attack. Coming up next, we have probably, in my opinion, one of the most underrated wingers you could probably bring in. It is the Nigerian Mr. Samuel Chukwueze. You can find him at AC Milan. Can bring him in for around 12 to 18 million pounds. Very solid, very pacey. Pace kills within this game, and he is really good at exposing that. He has plenty of pace. He's got the stamina to run for days. And I mean, just overall, 15 dribbling, 12 finishing, 13 first touch. Yes, the finishing probably could be better, but having 15 dribbling along with the 17 acceleration, 17 pace, and 14 crossing, this dude's going to be able to make plenty of plays with you down either the right or left side. As we can see, he can play on both sides. Next up, we have someone that has really grown as a player over the past couple of years. You can find him playing at Sporting in Portugal. It is Mr. Marcus Edwards, the young 24-year-old Englishman. Yes, 24 years of age. I do still consider young because that's younger than me. And you can bring him in for 17 to 25 million pounds. He is another player like Samuel Chukwueze who is very good at dribbling and also has a boatload of pace as well. However, one thing that is different with him, he has a better finishing ability. He has better first touch, better passing, better technique, great off the ball. This is someone, once again, that you can definitely build your side around, but you're going to want to at least have another player to be building around with him up front due to him being slightly older than, say, a Thiago Almada or a Ruben van Bommel. But overall, Marcus Edwards, absolutely fantastic player to bring in, and I see him getting a big-time move this summer in reality. But now, we're on to the next winger. And the next one is someone that I witnessed score a goal today against Victoria Pilsen. It is Nicolas Gonzalez, aka Nico Gonzalez of Fiorentina. The 25-year-old Argentinian is an absolute beast when you look at his attributes. Coming off the wing, it is borderline unfair having him as a winger. For 30 to 37 million pounds, you could try and bring him in from Fiorentina in the Serie A. He's got that holy trinity as a winger, which is super nice to have. Great off the ball, good technique. He's got pace like our past two players as well. And mentally speaking, he is pretty smart as a player. So this is a player that if you are looking to kind of look for a player that is going to take your team to that next level, get you a Europa League title, maybe help you push further on in the Champions League or compete for a league title, Nico Gonzalez is 100% the winger that you need to be bringing in. So speaking of players that can help you compete for a league, how about someone that can do that off the rip, but develop into someone that can be a league winner for you? We are talking about Mr. Michael Olise of Crystal Palace, the young 21-year-old Frenchman. He is more so on the expensive side. 41 million to 61 million pounds is what you will have to fork out to get him. But looking at his attributes, he is darn near on par with Nico Gonzalez, and he is 4 years younger. That is why he is one spot higher than him on this list. This kid is absolutely fantastic. I've had him in years past. He is a lot of fun to have and utilize because he can play on that right side. He can play on the left. He can play as a number 10. He is very versatile when it comes to his attacking game. And he can definitely develop a little bit in the pace department, but when you look at his physical, super well balanced. You look at his technical ability, dude is a freak of nature when it comes to his technical ability. He is so much fun to watch in reality, especially because of it. When you look at his mentals, even though he's only 21 years of age, he is a very smart footballer. So definitely, if you have the money to bring in someone like Michael Olise, definitely make sure that you do. But now we're moving from one Frenchman to another, and this is probably my favorite winger on the list personally, especially when it comes to the FM draft scene. It is Mr. Moussa Diaby. Moussa Diaby is absolutely ridiculous within FM and within reality. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play up top, he can play as a 10, as we can see right here. But for 58 to 85 million, it is going to take a pretty penny to lure him away from Aston Villa, and he's only going to get better. This dude is an absolute baller, and he is a pace machine. 18 acceleration, 18 pace, 16 natural fitness, and 17 agility as well, with 16 dribbling. This dude is a very pacey trickster, I guess you can call him, down either wing or even up top, because he can bang in some goals as a number 9. All right, so now we're moving into the top 3, and coming in at number 3 is another youngster. It's Mr. Julio Enciso from Brighton and Hove Albion, the 19-year-old Paraguayan you can pick up for 63 to 77 million pounds. So another player you got to pay a big asking price for, but he ends up being well worth it. Why do I say that? Because all these ratings that you've been seeing down here, or current ability or potential ability, is in regards to the Liverpool squad. And you can see right here what potential ability. It is absolutely insane that he could potentially become as good as Mo Salah, or potentially even better, because he could surpass that star ability right there. When you're looking at his attributes, he has the building blocks to be an exceptional winger, either on the left, the right, or as a number 10. I personally probably would not play him up top, just because I have utilized him in the past, and I definitely prefer him off of the wings, most likely the left, although he is great with both feet. So either off that left wing or as a 10, you can definitely play Mr. Julio Enciso. And when, once again, looking at his attributes, he has those building blocks to be something special. Coming in at number 2, we probably have one of the hardest names to say in all of football, but I'm going to do my best at pronouncing it. It is Mr. Vlia Kvaratskhelia from Napoli, the 22-year-old Georgian. For 77 to 114 million, you can bring him in, so you will need an absolute war chest to have this player. But as we can see from the attributes, he's 100% worth it. He is a club changer. If you get the money to bring him in, and if he is interested, you 110% do it, because he's great with both feet. He has the Holy Trinity. He's got some pace to him. He's got playmaking ability as well. He is great off that left wing. He can also play as a 10 or up top. And I would argue you could get a pretty good return from him playing as your number 9. But definitely try him out on the wing at first, because he is exceptional off that left-hand side. And now that brings us to the number one spot. And the number one spot is the cover boy of today's video. It is none other than Bambi Jamal Muzala. This dude is up there with Moussa Diaby. I absolutely love watching both of them, but Jamal Muzala, he's got that gravy. He is something insane. Like a gift to the football gods is Jamal Muzala. He is absolutely incredible. He is 20 years of age. You can pick him up for 90 to 112 million. That price will 100% rise the majority of the time, unless you try and pick him up immediately within your saves. But he is someone that can dominate a league on his own if you put him in the position to be able to do it. When you are looking at his attribute makeup, he is an incredibly smart player at 20 years of age. Physically speaking, very, very good as well. And he's got that holy trinity of 19 dribbling, 16 first touch, 13 finishing, but that can 100% improve as he is only 20 years of age. He is a great playmaker. And when you look at his versatility, he can darn near do anything. He can play off that left-hand side, can play on the right-hand side as a number 10, through the middle of the park, even as a striker, which I would prefer him in one of those front four positions, especially if you're playing a 4-2-3-1. You can kind of interchange him wherever you want him to be for a game-to-game basis even. But there's three attributes that I do not want to overlook because I find them very important, especially when it comes to a midfielder. But being that he is a winger, striker, and a midfielder all in one player, he's got high teamwork, vision, and work rate. That is like the holy trinity for a midfielder there when it comes to the mental attributes. And that means that he is going to outwork your opponent. He is going to work great in whatever system you put him in, and he has the vision to pull off some incredible plays as well. But there we have it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Definitely look into bringing in these wingers into your sides for your final saves within FM24 because they will help you bring in loads and loads of trophies to that trophy cabinet. And if you did happen to enjoy today's video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit the sub button. On this side of the screen, I'm going to be popping up my most recent video that I did like this, covering the best 11 strikers for you guys to bring into your saves. And on the left side of the screen, I will be popping up a video that I did covering the best mods to utilize within FM24. But until next time, everyone, have a good one. Bye-bye.